from extreme intuition and heightened empathy to troubles with conflict and self-expression. Today we look at secrets of the INFJ personality type. Number 11. Predicting patterns. Of the 16 major personality types found through the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, an introspective questionnaire popularly used to identify one's psyche, the INFJ persona is the rarest. INFJ stands for Introverted, Intuitive, Feeling, and Judging. Among the various indicators that a person is an INFJ, or advocate personality type, one that tends to stick out is their ability to seemingly predict the turnout of things to come. With a focus on the big picture, INFJs will often notice patterns and be able to forecast the possible outcome of events as they unfold. While they typically see the conclusions that could happen, this astute ability to discern possible outcomes will often grow more accurate with experience. Number 10. Acute perception. As introverts, INFJs spend a great deal of time in their own heads. This leaves them open to observe and analyze the actions and feelings of others, leading to a greater understanding of the emotions and motivations of others. This great understanding of the mindset of others is a one-way street, unfortunately, for advocates, as most others tend to have difficulty prying into the thought processes of an INFJ. Their ability to perceive, though, has its limits. With a mindset on the bigger picture, smaller details like important dates or a person's favorite meal will often elude the memory of an INFJ. But deeper concepts will stick with an advocate for ages. They use their highly perceptive observance to recognize when a person is feeling a specific emotion, hiding something, or lying, even when the person in question doesn't know it themselves. To make things more intriguing, an INFJ personality type usually doesn't realize the depths to which they know how others tick. And even if they did, they probably won't reveal the extent of their knowledge unless absolutely necessary. Number 9. Next level empathy. While it's common among many personality types to relate to the emotions of others, INFJs take empathy to new heights. Not only do they notice the sense of emotion of others, but they go so far as to feel them in their own body. Advocates simply going about their day are said to feel sudden shifts in their mood, only to look around and see someone else feeling the same way nearby. This is thought of as a type of emotional absorption. The closer the person is to the INFJ, the more likely they will feel that person's mental state. For example, should an advocate attend the wake of a person who has passed away, it won't matter if that person was close to them. If the person whose life is being celebrated was close to a loved one that is now feeling great sadness, an INFJ may burst into tears as they're overcome with the same sadness as their friend or family member. While this can be a struggle for the INFJ personality type, it also gives them great power in comforting others as they experience the suffering of those around them firsthand. Number 8. Whole other wavelength. Each personality type on the Myers-Briggs scale has its own dominant function, and in an INFJ, that function is referred to as introverted intuition. What this means is that advocates subconsciously notice patterns, especially when it comes to human nature. This often makes them feel as if they're on a completely different frequency as those around them. With such a high level of intuition, an INFJ personality type will often have hunches and gut feelings they can't quite explain, which may come across as psychic or weirdly superstitious, depending on the people in their company. However, due to the stress of attempting to explain this apparent superpower, most INFJs will simply keep their predictive skills to themselves. This unfortunately often results in feelings of being misunderstood and a mental isolation from the rest of society. Number 7. Seeing double. Beneath the surface, many people have a duality to their personality, and INFJs can see that clearly more often than not. These personality types will see and sense not just the person you truly are, but the various people you have the potential to be. Part of what makes these deeper features stand out to INFJs is their natural curiosity for complex matters and their willingness to accept information at face value. Advocates will peel away at their peers' personas like an onion until they have discovered the core to their desires and purpose. So by doing this, they are able to see both the version of a person that they present to the world, as well as the version that is kept hidden safely from judgment by others. By reading between the lines, INFJs will recognize all of your different personalities, as well as the reasons for their development. Number 6. Logically emotional. Though much of what makes an INFJ their dedicated personality type seems to revolve around emotions, these people are actually very deep thinkers, sometimes miscast as INTJs or architects for their apparent propensity for being rational. One of their top functions is characterized as introverted thinking. which surprisingly makes them fitting for careers as analysts or scientists. INFJs might hold jobs in the technology industry, as researchers, or in various fields of science. This introverted thinking is balanced by their function of extroverted feeling, or the function that explains their desire to connect with others. This puts advocates in a strange position, often explained as being too emotional for the thinkers but too logical for the feelers. While they might feel strange or out of place, this balance of thought and feeling leave INFJs as possibly the most balanced of all personality types. Number 5. Extrovert guys. With the heightened sense of the feelings of others, INFJs tend to feel responsible for maintaining the status quo. Wanting to keep morale up and ensure the comfort of those around them, advocates will do what it takes to sustain a sense of harmony. This often requires them to be much more social than they'd prefer, taking them out of their comfort zone for the benefit of others. Whether talking to those they suspect of feeling left out, or breaking up awkward silences or moments of tension with a joke, INFJs will try their best to keep spirits high, even if it means resorting to self-deprecating humor to do so. Because of this behavior, it may seem as though these personality types are actually extroverts. This responsibility, however, will take its toll on advocates, as too much socializing can leave them feeling drained and in need of a break. Overwhelmed by such social situations, INFJs may disappear from time to time to recharge their brains and reflect on information and the bonds they've forged before re-emerging into their social spheres. Number 4. Are you an INFJ? There are many signs that may indicate this personality type applies directly to you and your behavior. INFJs tend to feel as if they don't fit in and will feel different from those around them. This may come out as a sense of having a destiny, as though you're meant for greater endeavors and grander heights. You could also be an advocate if you find yourself being less concerned with current events, popular news, or the like, while being more focused on epic concepts like space, human nature, or the meaning of life. Or it may be apparent in the way that you keep your feelings to yourself, internally conflicted with how to express such feelings to others. A high propensity for compassion is a strong indicator of an INFJ as well. This can be seen as people-pleasing behavior and felt through extremely sensitive empathy. Another telling point is in one's pursuit of knowledge and self-betterment. INFJs will continually strive to better themselves, especially in regard to something they're passionate about, ignoring the difficulty of a task and tackling it head-on. They also love books, preferably those that will open their minds to complex subjects like psychology, sciences, self-improvement, and spirituality. All of this leads to a sense of wisdom, which, while gratifying, can feel encumbering as well. However, the best way to tell if you're an INFJ personality type is to simply take the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator questionnaire yourself. Number 3. Averse to conflict. The need to maintain harmony among their peers, while beneficial to those around them, has a flip side for INFJs. When faced with conflict, those with this personality type will become overcome with extreme feelings of anguish and distress. Sensitive and emotional advocates will endure restless nights and difficulty focusing as their minds stay wrapped around the problem at hand. This stress may even carry over into physical consequences, causing INFJs to experience migraines, upset stomachs, muscle pain, or worse. As a result, many with this personality type avoid conflict altogether, though this method of handling hostility or tension isn't the healthiest response. It's suggested that INFJs learn to stand up for their own needs and set boundaries where necessary. And in typical advocate fashion, they will often learn to do this with an exceptional warmth, compassion, and understanding so as to maintain a sense of diplomacy. Number 2. Unbalanced love life. Such a deep sense of caring and attention to the feelings of others doesn't always work out in the favor of the INFJ, especially when it comes to romantic endeavors. Their tendency to put others first will often lead to them forsaking their own wants and needs to do so. This won't be an issue to start with, as advocates prefer to not hog the spotlight and will find joy in the growth of others. However, this same selflessness makes them especially susceptible to others who are willing to take advantage. INFJs might find themselves in relationships where they continuously make themselves available to listen to their partner, but when the script is flipped, they end up being left high and dry as their troubles go unvented. Or in some cases, the INFJ will find themselves in a relationship they don't quite enjoy as much as their partner, but will stick with it for the sake of not upsetting their significant other. These relationships will end up leaving INFJs emotionally exhausted and rarely have a happy ending, thus making it all the more important for them to find a mate with which they can have a balanced relationship. Number 1. Soulmate searching. Socializing can be fairly difficult for the average advocate. They often must find someone they can truly trust before they let that person dive deep into their lives. This goes for romance as well, making INFJs firm believers in the existence of soulmates. Authenticity in terms of intimacy and connection are chief among their desires, but to create such a relationship can be a struggle at times. Such a deep connection is hard to find and can even be tougher to forge. But once an advocate finds the one, their love will be phenomenal.